Hi, welcome to the new video. Today I'm doing the Indian girl with some smoke spirit animals. As always, I'm painting on the black chroma looks, and I already laid down the white of the Indian girl, and I'm doing some freehand work for the smoke animals or spirit animals. I'm using the opaque white now, and the other colors are opaque black, and the rest of the colors are transparent candies. So this is the work I've done now with white. Now I switch to black. So this is the detailed stencil with all the information that I need for the next layers. So I painted this with a mix of black and purple. I'm doing this because later, as you can see on the right side, I'm doing some skin colors, and if I use just black, it may look too much like a cartoon with black outlines. And the purple transforms to a dark brown when I hit it later with the light brown mix that I use, so it looks a little bit more natural. So, and once you are beyond this stage, everything fits perfectly with my stencils. So you always have some positioning points, like here, for example, the part of the hands and the butt. So even if the stencil is used and dirty, you always have like parts that you always can find and recognize there. So this was now purple, and I'm using an extra black for the eyes and the hair. And now I'm switching to magenta. And I paint everything in this stencil too. Now comes a stencil where you can do the lips, and also there would be an eye color if I wanted to do this. And on another part you can lay down the hair color. In this case I'm using the black. So now I'm again on the magenta, so I'll paint over the white parts, so that now when I'm using the light brown, as you can see, you get a nice color for the skin tone. And the light brown I'm mixing with one part, it's like 10% purple, and the rest is yellow. So this is now a little bit of red. And I'm also doing the background. And with the transparent colors, it's like the more color you put on the surface, the more, the brighter the color gets. So I'm putting on a lot of color, so that the surface is really wet, and this is like a heat blower to dry the surface. And even though A few seconds ago it was really wet. Now it's dry to paint. So now I'm going back to white. And this is now the layer for the white with less opacity. As you can see, I have like a white line at the butt. So now I'm searching for the eyes, and as you can see, it's already used. And just two opposite parts of the stencil is enough to make a perfect fit. So now I'm not using the full opacity, so it's like 50%. And this is now some yellow. So that I don't have the full white highlights. And now I'm putting down the animal spirit. Because this was the first time I used this stencil, the next time I would made it, I would do it opposite, so I would lay down the next stencil with the white details first, and then I would try to put down the cover stencil. Because what I've not seen before is that some parts are a little bit fragile, and so, for example, I have on the left side I have wolf, horse and elk, and it's only connected by a small bridge from one part to another, and there I misplaced it a little bit. So I have to make the next stencil with this full white. I had to readjust it like a few times to make it perfect fit. I've worked now with yellow, and this is red. So what the effect should be, it's like with the cover stencil, I have now a darker background than the surrounding space around the animals. And as you can see, when I removed it, you see the shapes of the animals are darker. If you want it even darker, you can like cover it up with the black surface, and you get really sharp looking smoke animals. This is now the highlight white, and I put it into the cover stencil for just one reason, is because it relates exactly to the first black. I get like the perfect fit for the highlights in the eyes and stuff, because it orientates to the first black that I used. So as you can see, it's already used, the stencil, so I can't do anything wrong with the placement of this stencil. If you want to see another version of this, you can look for video 563. There I've worked on the tank. And now you see my problems. So I have to like paint the animals in parts. So it would be really easier to just paint this whole stencil in one step and then try to put the cover stencil in the exact way. So to paint the wolf and the horse, now it's the elk and the bear. Then I have the snake and the owl. And there's the raven and an eagle. I've got the orca, a buffalo, and a buck, a deer. And the second, if I would put down more color, a full white for this, for example, for this stencil, the animals would be more visible than now. But the intention was to make like an Indian girl with spirit animals that would appear in like a smoke surrounding. So I decided to do it a little bit, not with the full color. But that's the beauty about the stencil, you can always reapply the stencils and do more highlights. So now I'm doing some freehand shapes, and this now is, I'm using a reduced air supply, and so I can create these small dots, and I'm just following the smoke with this, so I have like the small effects as if there are sparks or something like this. And then I can reapply like the cover stencil of the Indian to make an aura around the head. And I can also reapply the white of the animals. I put some white in there. So to make them more visible, there are two parts. You can make the background of the animals darker. So the first stencil that I used to cover the background, if there's more like a difference between black and white, it will be more visible. And on the other hand, you must decide if you want to do it too visible so that it doesn't look like the smoke. So I'm stuck with this, and finish this whole thing with some stars, and that will be this picture. If you like my videos, you can subscribe my channel, you give a thumbs up or leave a comment. And thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye.